Okay, we've got a bit of flickering there. This is a shoot directly into light, so there's a healthy amount of bloom. So I don't want grounded shadows per se, although I would have another very mild pass at deflickering. Cool, there we go. Okay, let's see. Could we be deviating on our blues a little bit? Bring that down and get some more. There we go. And that, I think, could just use a touch more saturation. Okay, so let's just watch through what we have here, make sure we're happy with all the matching going on. We'll noise reduce that later. From there to there is good. That I'm happy with. That's good. That's good. That's also good. Okay, so I am happy with everything up to shot 11. We'll put green flags on that. Need to not forget about that, but we'll come back and do it later. Also, there's kind of yellow, green, you know, there's quite a lot of cleanup to do there. Okay, this shot. Now, this shot is already very good. I think what I might want to do is just add a little bit more emphasis on the face of the actress down here. And we will just see how well this can track. It should be fairly easy. Cool. So I'm going to leave his face alone. He's alright. Maybe he could do with a little bit of extra saturation. But here, bit of yellow, a little bit monotone. So let's just pull this up. And I do want some more contrast. Got a bit of saturation in the shadows down there. So again, don't want it to go charcoaly, but just about there should do the trick. And let's make sure the yellow isn't too... what we really want. There we go, and that just gives us, so we've taken care of the yellow, it's a little bit more skin coloured. I will just make sure if we have a little bit of a kind of a sine curve or an S curve there, we maintain a bit of variation in hue so it's not completely monochromatic. I would like to get the face refiner on here and do, you know, forehead, cheeks and chin, but it's not going to work on this angle. And that's nice, she is now clearly our focus. What we might just do... actually, no. I'm not going to use an outside node. I'll use a layer node with the inverted key because I find it a little bit easier to keep track of. And just in here, I am going to bring up the saturation of our reds a smidge, just so the other guy gets a bit of colour. Because he's looking a little bit washed out otherwise. There we go. Cool, now I'm not going to do anything else with vignetting or anything on there. Let's just take a look and make sure that we have... Okay, maybe she's a little bit yellow still. I may... Okay, that's a shot which I have not yet finished off, so that's fine. So the colour is fine, the saturation on this shot is okay. I'm going to go and finish this in a second. So that's pretty good. Like everything else needs noise reduction. We will green flag that. This, and this. Let's just watch them all through. Let's just watch it from back here and see what we've got. Let's just make sure I are actually seeing everything. Okay, that could do with a little bit more of a grounded shadow. Maybe a touch of saturation. Okay, we've got some flicker on here. Very slight flicker in that bokeh, but it's otherwise okay. And then to here and to here. So here we're going to have to do a bit of basic retouching. We're also going to have to do some beauty work on, at the very least, this angle. Maybe very slightly here. We're going to need to use the color compressor on the jacket over here. And I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do a touch of roto on the skin on her chest here, because it does look a little bit jaundiced. So let's do that first. Curve, and I will make this inverted. Okay, so I'm still, because I know it's there, I'm still a little bit bugged by this patch of skin. I think in the real world it's not that significant, but you know what, I like detail. Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to need a bit of manual keyframing, this one, because it changes shape, so you can't just track it. Or can you? Okay, that's fine. Got a little bit of a problem on the hair back there. Or is it... Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, cool, that should fix that. Right, so we have everything we need. So I am going to use the color compressor to iron out the jacket. I need a key mixer to do that. What I need to do is I need to... Oh no, that's fine. I just need one key, my mistake. I forgot I had this in this first key here. So all I need to do is I need to take that alpha through there, and now on here, I need the color compressor. There we go. Now, the ideal color for the jacket we decided on was this lapel here, and once we've done this, we'll also go back and get this sorted. So, target color, roughly there. Notice how as we go along, we fix that, so let's just... Then, there we go, that's nice. And I might just be tempted to... It's looking just a tiny bit green to me. There we go. So now we've gotten rid of that kind of yellow-orange quality there, and it's a much cleaner colour. Because this exposes a bit of an imperfection in the key back there, I'm going to just... There we go. In fact, let's see if we can clean that out a little bit. There we go. Okay, that makes it harder to see. Cool, so we now have the jacket sorted. I'm very happy with that colour of jacket. We're going to go through and make sure all of the jackets in this match. It's going to be particularly challenging on this shot, but we will get there even if we have to rotoscope it. Don't you worry. So this is another one, bit of imperfection red down here. And then there's a lot of stock, which will be relatively quick to match up. Then such a small glimpse of it there, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So next is going to be the face. Now, in preparation for the face refiner, before I use this, I'm going to save just in case. Remember, the face refiner can cause a freeze. I want to sort out this yellow reflection here, so I'm going to go into the key for the face. And I am just going... Which is okay, if I make it a little bit more homogeneous now, I can introduce some more variety with the face refiner. It's just if I have a big yellow streak down the side there, it's going to stay there no matter what I do, which I would like to avoid because it looks a bit odd. So, face refiner, let's see. And it's going to work. It would be helpful if we could see the overlay, so let's make sure we can. Okay, that's a pretty good analysis. Like I said, as long as we can see both eyes, the face refiner tends to be alright. So now, we may even be able to get away with using some of the eye retouching here. So I'm going to buff up the contrast a little bit. Let's just take a look at our skin mask, actually. That's not great, is it? I tell you what then. Let's just make sure we have that analysis. Okay, we've got a much better mask that we're using from another node because the automatic skin keying is just a bizarre choice to me. I don't quite get it, so I'm actually going to put a little bit of beauty on here, maybe 0.1. Oops, that's 1.3, way too much. Just a little bit. Right, so I am going I can bring up the colour ever so slightly. What we can do, we can just bring up a little bit of shine removal. Again, don't want to go too far. Cool. So we want the forehead to be yellow. We want the cheeks to be red. And we want the chin to be green or blue. There we go, got a bit of natural hue variation, and I'm going to go back to the eyes. That's a bit too much, but we can just go up to about there. A little bit of sharpening, a little bit of highlight. Very slight background now. I'm actually going to get rid of the beauty effect on here. Don't like what it's doing. I don't think it needs it. Those eyes are now just a little bit too much. There we go. Eyes are still a bit too much. Wow, sharpening is a very, very strong effect on this. Let's just go. Even that's too much. There we go, 0.005 for sharpening. Brightening. Can go down in the highlights. There we go, so now that we have a nice refined face there, we've got a nice focus on the eyes, we have hue variation, which is better, and we have a bit on the chin, we've got a nice uniform jacket, which is the correct colour, which is very good. So, this is getting a bit of a mess. So I've got a primary out and then a little bit of, excuse me, of a vignette to add, so I will get on with that. Let's just tweak the blue here ever so slightly. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that. I go from there to there. That's pretty much ideal. I'm very happy with the skin, very happy with the jacket. The blue is good. So I'm happy with that. That's got a green flag. Let's sort this out. I'm just going to save. Now I've had issues with this particular shot kind of falling out with the face refiner before, so we'll see what happens, but what we need, let's just see what happens now. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, it's about as easy as you can get for face analysis. So, let's take a look at beauty. Okay, that to me implies that our face mask is a bit naff. Let's take a look. Okay, use mask, use face mask. Okay, there's a little bit there which helps out the right hand side, but it really doesn't help out the left hand side. I'm going to have to pull a key on the left hand side and balance that out with a bit of other beauty, I think. But for now, let's carry on with the face refinement. Desaturate the shadows. And what we'll do is there we go, get rid of some shine removal. I think what I'm going to do of course that ain't going to work. So cheek is definitely a bit red. The cheek needs a bit of reddening, I should say. Forehead. Okay, this isn't working. This isn't working because the red side is picking a fight with everything else. No, that's not helping. That's alright, I think. We can do this largely by hand because the face refiner is not being particularly helpful this time. So, we've got our primary now. Now in this particular angle it's a bit backwards. The left hand side has gone red and the right hand side has gone yellow. So what we need to do is even this out a little bit, and then we can introduce variety of our own. But at the moment the left-right split is not working for me, it just looks weird. Okay, that's a bit more like it. So, next one. What I want to do is isolate the scarf. There we go. So it's not going to hit the hair, and I can now do that, so that's fine. That's still a little bit. There we go, that's more even. Okay, so forehead, cheeks, chin. So the first thing we want to do. Now everything is in more or less the right place. You know what, I'll do the colour compressor trick on this first. Now I want to be careful here because I've got green, so what I want to do is push the green out of this and keep just the yellow and the orange. So I'm going to make a backwards key. Ideally, what I want to do is get rid of the orange as well. Okay. So let's make a new still. Make sure we know which one it is. There we go, and now I've got that jacket in the right place. But I have some work to do on the face. Clearly super yellow, quite red, so I need to make this a better match. So let's get a match going on. Okay, that's getting there. What we need to do is take care of these glowing shadows. Okay, that's getting much closer now, isn't it? Tell you what, let's get the vector scope up and take a look. Right. Okay. Still needs to be. Okay, cool. Right, that's a good base. Let's just watch this through, make sure the track is all right. Okay, so we are now going to have to do our own thing, although I think the one thing the face refiner might be able to do with this one is the eyes, so let's just take a look and see if that works. have to do a little bit of beauty work here as well. There's eyes. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's just play it through. Okay, fine. Just need to... because sharpening is super fierce on the face retoucher for some reason, on the face refiner, I should say. Okay. Right, we now need to sort out forehead and chin. So, see how much easier the face refiner makes this when it works. And it's a very slight variation we can introduce here. It could be 1 degree. And it just adds a little bit of interest. And then we can do the chin. I think the cheeks are red enough. And we want to avoid making the lips go green. That's probably going up a bit high. I think the chin. And there we go. It just adds a tiny little bit of variety down there. And now we have one last thing to take care of. Let's just take a look. We've got a bit of primary out to take care of, but that's otherwise a pretty decent one. I might add a bit of a yellow splash down the left hand side just to make this match up. In fact, I'll do that in this node. Okay, I'm going to set up 2 nodes. Just bear with me because I want to make a compound node because this is getting difficult to organize now. So all of this I'm happy with. You, on the other hand, can give your alpha out there. I'm going to make a compound node. But I'm going to take the alpha out of the previous face mask. I'm going to put it in here, and in this node I'm going to do my beauty work, but I want that mask there, which is why I set that up on this one. I am just going to add my yellow splash back in, just so I have a little bit of Okay, there we go. I've just added that little bit of yellow splash down the left-hand side. Now, for beauty, and hopefully, because beauty can be a right faff, just a little touch on here can be okay. Cool, that's pretty good. So, now, finally just our primary out. And we might make our blue a little bit bluer. And a little bit of redness missing from the cheeks. So I think I will. We want to make this super soft. Okay, and I'll just bring that down to 0.6. Let's maybe add a little bit of blush there. And that's now a much better red. And maybe now I just want to... Okay, that was a lot of work. But that's what happens when we get to the really important shots, so most other shots aren't going to take as long. Although, we have this one. This one, did they get out on this one? Ugh. A bit of green there. This one. Oh, and this. To take care of, so we still have a fair amount. I'm not forgetting right at the start as well, so... Right, let's see how these two play together. Good. Let me just proof check that jacket. Okay. Cool. Right. Full mag. Ish, really noisy, but we will fix that. Okay, so now all of these are more or less okay where they already are. But this, I'll come back to later, needs a lot of work. Okay, let's just save.